I can't believe it's already Halloween again for the final time. I've been so busy with classes, I barely had time to even think about Halloween. Isabella told me about this party 2 weeks ago, but I hadn't even thought about it until a couple days ago.
Hey Max, are you ready yet? Come on, we've got to get there by 8.
Hang on, I'm almost done getting changed. Luckily, my keyboardist, Jerry, does makeup as a hobby. He hooked me up with a pretty sweet costume, even if it is a little last minute. This is gonna take me a few to get on, okay?
Meanwhile, I'm gonna call Chad and let him know I'm on my way. I'm out in 5 minutes, so don't be late, okay?
Isabella leaves dialing her cell phone. I forgot about Chad. I'm sure he'll be dressed up as something stupid. I gotta admit, I was looking forward to hanging out with Izza, and whatever hot-ass outfit she chose. Plus whoever else shows up, like Rakesh. But yeah, I certainly don't feel like spoiling my mood dealing with that giant slab of stupid Chad. Now I'm rethinking if I even want to go. I guess there'll be plenty of eye candy if I do go. Chad can't stop me from looking. I don't know. Whatever.
Play.
Hell, Chad can't stop me. I'm gonna strut my stuff for all them fine ladies and that fine, fine boy.
Rakesh, I'm coming for you!
A quick change later and I head out to the porch with Isabella. Well?
Hey, nice! I always knew you were brain dead, but didn't think the rest was dead too.
Oh, bite me. Please. Preferably up in my room for the next couple hours. You're looking damn fine, babe.
You don't have to tell me hot stuff. Now if only the others would show up, we could get going. As called, I am here. Oh, you dog, you!
No. Wolf, Isabella. I am a wolf.
It's a saying, Rakesh.
You look good, Rakesh. How long did that take?
Not long. Though the glue I rolled in itches. I'm not sure what kind of fur this is either. Have you learned nothing from the painting incident? Gosh.
That's terrible, Rakesh. But for now, you look great, so who cares? Who else is coming?
I think you'll like this spell.
Isabella leans close at me. I like it already.
Say it with me. Bibbidi, bobbidi. Boo?
Now I know I like this spell.
You're never gonna get a scare like that, hon. Come on, you gotta sell it.
Definitely, because whatever you're selling, I'm buying. Between the two of you, I'm gonna run out of cash.
I'll be happy to bleed you dry later, hot stuff. Your costume looks good too, Max.
Thanks. Is this it? Any other surprises for me?
This is it. Dominic's hanging back to hand out candy if anybody comes by. Sally's gone to hand out pamphlets on where to compost your pumpkins. Girl knows how to party.
Then let's get going. These two fine ladies in tow, and a werewolf. I'm definitely looking forward to this. Together we make our way down to the party site, another house on campus.
That is not well decorated.
Welcome to you, our most esteemed guests of honor. I presume you are the inspectors we sent for.
Huh?
You may call me Butler. We rang the constables to solve the ghastly murder in our quaint dormitory. I thought you were they, no? Well, please come in.
I look at the other roomies who all appear to be just as confused as I am. I don't know why he's talking that way, but he enters through the front door and gestures for us to enter as well.
I heard it was a theme party. I didn't know it was gonna be like this.
Hey, as long as I'm with you ladies, I'll play along with whatever weird stuff they want to throw my way.
This way, please. Do mind the corpse.
Mind the... Before Rakesh can finish, we've all entered and are staring at the bloody corpse in the middle of the hall. There are about 10 other people here with us. Some of the others are talking amongst themselves about the body. It's actually really well done. It looks very believable.
Poor Mr. Body. He owns this building. Well, owned. He donated a rather large sum for the college, apparently on behalf of a student he had a particular fondness for. Actually, it's rather odd, but he had been filling out these cards when he sent me out. They have your names on them.
Butler hands everyone in the room a card with their name on it.
So that's why we had to RSVP for this thing.
I open my card and inside it just says, "You are Mr. Body's #1 salesperson. You are innocent, but the murderer is out there. At 7 o'clock, you were refueling your vehicle. Hey, what did you guys get?
Please, do not discuss the contents of your letter until the constables arrive. We wouldn't want anyone to tamper with the evidence. While we wait, please avail yourselves of the amenities. There is a kitchen down the hall. The study is that way, and the sitting room is through that door. I expect there may be clues about. I'm sure you'll discover something along the way.
So, what's going on?
Looks like you're on the case, hot stuff. Time to figure out who murdered this poor sap.
The game is afoot, as it were.
It's elementary, my dear Rakesh. Oh, this will be so much fun.
Well, I think I know what I'd like to investigate.
Down, dead boy.
It appears we must solve this dreadful crime.
Who doesn't love a good mystery?
You are way too into this, hon.
This might be pretty cool.
I think I'm gonna go see what I can find in the study.
Butler, is there food in the kitchen?
Indubitably.
I shall take that as a yes and go to feed myself.
I think I'll see what I can deduce in the sitting room.
I think I'll come and find you guys in a sec.
Don't keep me waiting, hot stuff.
You know it, babe.
Honestly, you two.
While we were making our plans, so was everyone else. Soon enough, the crowd disperses. Only the butler is left. So, dude, what's really up?
Exactly what I've said so far.
All right, I'll play along. So what are the facts, Jack?
I'm afraid I don't know much. Feel free to look over the body for clues. I'll answer your questions as you like.
All right, I can work with this. I think I may be surprising everyone tonight. The only question now is where to start. Clearly, there are 4 rooms to visit if I include the main hall here. There are probably clues in each of them, not to mention my friends. I guess I just have to figure out which one to visit first.
Let's investigate the body.
Time to investigate the main hall. After all, there is a body here to look into. I look around the room just to get my bearings. There are some stairs going up here, though that seems to be out of bounds for the game. The main entrance is here too. The butler appears to have gone back outside to wait for the police. The body lies before me. Whoever did it up did a great job. It almost looks like a real person. A real person who's had the back of their skull caved in. The body is wearing a very nice 3-piece suit that's been treated very roughly. Whoever got to him must have had a fight on their hands. There are holes and tears all over. The man was also clearly quite well-to-do. A gold watch peeks out from under one of his sleeves. I'm a little hesitant to mess with the body. I don't know if it's against the rules or not. Hey, butler, can I touch this guy?
If you think it will help your case, sir. Everyone else seems to have gone to search for clues elsewhere. I'm sure the police will be able to put the pieces together if nobody else here can.
Sounds good.
Guess that's as much of a confirmation as I'm gonna get.
I take a look at the watch on his wrist. It's definitely seen better times.
I'm gonna miss that joke.
The strap is nearly broken off and the face is definitely broken. A little blood has gotten onto it, on the strap and on the knob on the side. The watch hands have stopped moving, stuck pointing at 7 o'clock. I decide to go through the pockets of his jacket as well. I mean pockets. Packets? After a few moments of rifling around, my hand grasps something. It seems to be a mini recorder. I hit the playback button and all that comes out is a garbled mess of static. I quickly turn the device off, giving it a shake. Red droplets fall out of it. Maybe it will work better once it's dried out a little, you know, all the blood, get out of there. For now, I'll just have to consider it as is. There doesn't appear to be anything else of note on this body. Well, butler, I think it's time you told me what you knew. Exactly what happened here.
Very well. Here is the sordid tale. I was here when the master returned from work at 6 in the evening. He was certainly planning on throwing a costume party tonight. All of the invitations to you were sent off ages ago. At 6:55, the master noticed that we were dreadfully short of port for the evening. He immediately sent me to acquire more for the night. Obviously, I don't really know what happened while I was gone. I arrived back from the shops at 7:30. I entered to find the hideous scene you see before you. I called the police, of course, but then you all began arriving and, well, you know where we got from there.
Did you hear any strange noises when you were leaving? Any sign of struggle? If we assume his watch broke at the time of assault, it wasn't long after you left.
No, I don't recall hearing anything unusual as I left. It was actually very quiet.
And there was nobody here when you got back.
No, I checked all the rooms and nobody was about.
Are there any other entrances or exits?
There is a back entrance, but it was still locked when I checked it.
Alright, well, thank you, Butler.
Of course, sir.
I think that's all I'm gonna get out of this place for now. Well, that was certainly a good place to start. Question is, where next?
I haven't gotten the recorder before, I don't think. So this might mean it's Anne? Because I'm pretty sure Rakesh was like a key. And Isabella's was like a statement. Or something like that. Stop payment? It was a stop payment thingy. But we will investigate the suspects to make sure. This is our last time going through anyway.
Time to visit the study. I think Isabella came in here. One of the classrooms has been converted for the evening. Looks like there are people relaxing all over. Someone even put a few pipes on a coffee table between some of the chairs. They probably haven't been used, since I'm pretty sure this is a no-smoking building. Isabella is sitting on one of the chairs, idly leafing through a book. I don't know if she's reading it or not, actually. Hey, Isabella.
Hey, hot stuff. Glad you came to find me. I was afraid I was going to be all alone in here.
She's really laying it on pretty thick tonight. Not that I mind. So, where's Chad, anyway? I suppose it's too much to hope he's the corpse out there.
Ha! No such luck. Nah, Chad left much earlier. Said he had to go bail one of his friends out.
Hey, that just means more for me. So, what did your card say?
That would be telling. And where's the fun in that? Aren't you going to try to worm the information out of me?
Well, there are plenty of things I'd like to get you out of.
Ooh, tempting.
Isabella stands up from her chair and walks over to me, draping her arms over my shoulders.
So, Mr. Interrogator, you think you can bring a confession from these lips?
Well, this could involve some very in-depth questioning. I wouldn't want you to get tongue-tied.
Don't worry, I'm very hot under pressure.
You're hot anywhere, babe. Come on, did you do the crime? Isabella grins wickedly at me, then leans in close to my ear.
If I was guilty, Detective, would it matter?
Pursing her lips, she blows a little air over my ear. Well, I can certainly offer you a hell of a deal if you cooperate with me.
What's the fun in cooperation? The struggle is so much more interesting.
I'll play it any way you want it, babe. I can be mean, or I can be very, very nice.
Well, since you asked so nice.
So what's your story here, Isabella?
Well, you know Mr. Body was my boss. We worked together, for God's sake. I've been his secretary for 3 years now.
Did you have any problems with your boss?
Of course not. We got along famously. Everyone knows he was always hanging off my every word.
And was there anything else going on between you two?
I'm sorry. What? What do you mean?
Oh, please, babe, don't you go disappearing on me. If you were my secretary, I'd be in HR every day for being inappropriate.
Are you saying I can't be professional, Max?
That's almost exactly what I'm saying. I'm also saying that men are more than happy to be unprofessional right along with you. I know I am. I closed the distance between us, looking down at her with my best gotcha stare.
Well, fine. Yeah, we messed around a bit. It was nothing serious, just a little harmless fun.
Ha! I knew it. And did his wife know about this harmless fun?
Well, if it's harmless, she wouldn't really need to know about it, would she?
I figured. So, where were you around 7 o'clock?
Ugh, don't remind me. That's before we got here, right? You asked why Chad didn't come? Well, just ask the patrons at my cafe. They'll tell you why he didn't come. We had a huge fight when he told me he had to go bail someone out of jail. He left at 7 and I went home to prepare to come here with you.
How far away is the cafe from here?
I don't know, about 15 minutes?
Okay, one more question before you disappear. Take a look at this for me. I flashed the mini recorder at Isabella, letting her get a look at it.
What is that thing?
Not sure, it looks like a mini recorder.
Oh yeah, he was walking around with one of those things the other day. He's been recording bits of his memoirs for Anne. What's this one say on it?
Don't know, it won't play.
Oh well.
Well, thank you for your time, Isabella.
No problem, detective. Hope you figure out who did this and bring them to justice. Justice!
Isabella winks at me and goes back to idly leafing through her book on her comfy chair. Well, there was clearly an affair happening between her and Body, but that's not necessarily evidence that she did it. I'll have to investigate further.
And I hear some conversation.
I heard he was going to write a book about his memoirs. That would have been so boring. Hopefully he had a good editor to spice it up.
I wonder if he did have that editor.
And why she killed him. Well, let's go see our boo in the kitchen.
I think it's time to visit the kitchen. Maybe I can catch up with Rakesh. I wandered down the hall into what looks like a little break room. There's a refrigerator and a microwave in here. There's even one of those little electric grills plugged in. I see Rakesh applying peanut butter to some bread slices at the counter next to the refrigerator. Digging around inside the fridge, I see a girl I don't know. Let me know when you find the jelly, Roxanne.
Yes, I'm looking. I don't know if they have any. How did you talk me into this anyway?
Because I make an excellent sandwich. Hey, Rakesh. Ah, Max. Welcome, I will get more bread. And what is a kitchen without snacks, Who's your new friend? This is Roxanne. Apparently she was staying here in the building to sort out some of her affairs. Affairs? In an old schoolhouse?
That unfortunate murder case in the Great Hall is my father. He called me here under some pretense of having something to tell me. It was apparently going to be something about his new lover. Honestly, if he weren't paying my way through college, I wouldn't have listened to anything that old bag had to say.
Daddy trying to buy your love? What's the matter? Didn't get enough hugs?
Oh, please! He was an awful man. A gambler and a drunk. He probably just fell down those stairs. I hated that man. I hated him to his bones. I won't deny it. I've got nothing to hide.
Roxanne slams a jar of jelly on the counter next to Rakesh and storms out of the room.
At least she found the jelly.
Rakesh finishes making the sandwiches and hands me one. So what's your deal in this crazy place, Rakesh? Ah, yes. Well, as to my story, clicked by accident. I'm not sure if you ever saw me around the office. I was Mr. Body's bodyguard. He did not feel I was necessary when he was at his own office. Still, I saw you a time or two. He was your boss as well, eh? Did you two get along all right? Oh, yes. He was a very strict boss. You didn't like him? Oh, that's not true at all. Oh, well, maybe a little true. I was not fond of him, but one does not need to be fond of one's employer to remain employed, is that correct? I suppose that's true, but surely you could have found somewhere else to work. Mr. Body was very persuasive. You don't sound like a loyal employee. Perish the thought. At any rate, I did not have anything to do with the terrible crime out there tonight, that is for certain. So where were you around 7 o'clock tonight? What time was that? An hour before we got here. I was just finishing up with an art class. I was doing a bit of life modeling. I didn't know you did that. Well, art is a bit of a side passion of mine. We both chuckle at that. Mr. Body said that he wouldn't need me tonight, so I took the opportunity. Just one last thing, Rakesh. Can you take a look at this for me? I hand the recorder over to Rakesh, who also tries to play it. A bit of garbled voice flows out.
That what I've in 40,000 in text.
Oh, this is probably for that book that Anne is writing. She was ghostwriting his memoirs, you see. He's been speaking into things like this for the last few months. Oh, did he reveal all? Actually, it was all pretty boring. I barely paid attention. I'm sure it's great for his readers, but it was pretty dull stuff. Okay, well, thank you, Rakesh. Make sure to find me if you think of anything else. Most definitely. Thank you, Max. I think there's definitely more to Rakesh's relationship with Mr. Body than he's saying, but I'll have to figure it out as I go. As I return to the main hall, I hear some more conversation.
I hear Mr. Body was about to break things off with his mistress. Oh, Roxanne, you can hope.
No mistress takes kindly to that sort of thing, especially if they're not doing the breaking up. Well,
Let's go see Anne, who's our main suspect.
Looks just like our common room, but with a nicer TV. It even looks like someone brought in a small bar. Upon closer inspection, it looks like it's got all kinds of juices, but no alcohol. Which means I immediately find it uninteresting. Anne is here on one of the small couches in a corner, writing in a small notebook. A few other people are sitting in various other parts of the room, but they all seem to be nattering about nothing. Come to think of it, I haven't really seen all those other people much. Most of them must have come in here to discuss things. Looks like a bunch of them have juice glasses.
Bleh.
Hello, Anne. Hiding out in here, huh?
Well, maybe a little. I have my reasons. Like hiding from the person who's going to bring you to justice?
Well, speaking of reasons, maybe we should talk about your story here. Come on, let's talk about you for a while, huh?
Okay, Mr. Sleuth, what would you like to know?
Well, how did you know Mr. Body?
I only just met him a few months ago, actually. I didn't really know him very well. He hired me to write his memoirs, you see.
Do you think he had an interesting enough life for a book? I mean, was his company that successful? I've heard of a few Fortune 500 types putting out their stories. Was it like that?
Yes, exactly like that. Apparently he'd heard of a few of my books before, and he wanted me to ghostwrite his story. Have you read any of my books? I wrote the Starlight Sally series that everyone was reading a few years back. I also wrote A Spy's Game is Murder, which you might know.
Do those books even exist, Anne? I didn't know you'd written anything.
Max, I'm in character here. Get into the spirit of it, would you? I swear I'll put a hex on you.
Okay, calm down. So you wrote some really well-known books, then?
Yes, a lot of fantasy and fiction, mostly. I told my publisher I was interested in writing some nonfiction. When he mentioned that Mr. Body was a big fan, I thought it would be my chance.
And how was the book coming along?
Oh, it was fine. He was an interesting subject, certainly.
Anne can't meet my eyes as she says this. She stops just short of making a disgusted face. Didn't exactly make for a page-turner, huh?
Oh, no, I can make any story interesting. It's what I do. Did you know that Starlight Sally and the Bugman of Xanadu was really just a story about an ant farm? #1 on the New York bestsellers list for 7 weeks, and it could have just as easily been written in the 3rd grade science report. That's how good I am.
Huh. And did you have to do a lot of doctoring on Mr. Body's story?
Well, how could I? It was nonfiction.
Anne has gone back to writing in her little notebook.
Just notes on this case. If you don't hurry, I'm going to figure out the culprit before you. Well, you should have by now, because it's you!
So where were you at 7 o'clock?
You can ask the bartender at the Dog and Biscuit. He'd probably be the only one who could tell you how many I'd had, since he's the one that cut me off.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Max!
Oh, right, character. Sorry.
Look, I don't have a drinking problem. I drink, I get drunk, I write books. No problem.
Huh, that's a good one. Okay, one last question. Take a look at this for me, would you? I pull out the mini recorder. Anne's light up with instant recognition.
Anne's? I guess her eyes. Oh, he still had one of those? I thought I'd gotten his last entry.
She reaches out for the recorder rather eagerly, but I pull it away. So this is definitely yours? What's on it?
Some recording he made, I'm sure. He was recording passages for the book that he wanted me to include.
Well, this one won't be much good. It's broken. To demonstrate, I hit the play button.
Earning a point 3% really tragic.
As Anne hears the broken vocal, she rolls her eyes peevishly. She quickly stops when she realizes I'm looking and looks back at her notebook. Not exactly riveting entertainment.
No, he was pretty much always like that. Still, I'd appreciate it back. His final words might be on that device.
Well, I'm sure the police will want it as evidence. I'll just make sure it gets to them safely if you don't mind.
Fine. I suppose if it's broken, it doesn't matter.
Well, thank you for your time, Anne. I'll let you get back to writing your case notes. Let me know if you come up with anything.
We'll see. Good luck, Detective. I'll be interested to see if you get this one right, Max.
Anne looks at me appraisingly. She's really into this stuff. I think she's enjoying the intellectual challenge. I give her a little bow and head back out.
Conversation. Oh yeah, it was a real big blowout fight. I couldn't even get service at 7 in a cafe. It was awful.
Well, that corroborates Isabella's story. Let's accuse Anne.
Butler, gather the people. I think it's time we close this case.
Very well, sir.
The little guy runs off to grab everyone while I collect my thoughts. Once everyone's gathered around, I stand next to the body while I eye everyone. Someone in here thinks they're pretty clever. Someone thinks they pull the wool over my eyes. Somebody didn't count on exactly how smart I really am. I've seen the evidence. I've talked to some of you very in-depth. Isabella winks at me. The others look around at each other, sizing up what I'm going to say. And now it's time to bring this little game to a close, with me as its winner. It's all quite clear to me now.
If I lied to protect Anne, she would be so mad at me. So, I'm gonna show her just how clever I am. Wow, you're so close.
I look at Anne as she writes a final note in her notebook before folding it up and putting it away. There are a lot of stories out there. Some good, some bad. Some are just plain boring. Tonight we all heard a really cool story about a dead man. A dead man with a pretty colorful life if you look at it the right way. If you look at it another way, though, it's just another story of some rich white guy with a successful company. Huh! But a rich white guy involved in a brutal and mysterious murder? Well, now that's a great twist no matter how you look at it. My eye wanders over to Anne, who is beginning to shift uncomfortably. Of course, I'm just a simple gumshoe. Is that what they're called? Nobody gets to call me a dick.
Max! Character!
See, Anne's the literary one. The one who cares about characters and story structure and these sorts of things. And Mr. Body, well, he just didn't fit into your story, did he, Anne? He just wasn't performing up to snuff. You didn't get here at 7. The butler would have heard the fight leading up to the murder. I have no doubt your alibi checks out until almost 7, but you checked out a little early, didn't you? You got here while the butler was away. You knew he'd be busy trying to get ready for this party. You knew that his bodyguard would be busy trying to find the blackmail Mr. Body kept on him. A little mystery to an otherwise completely boring life. A little spice to keep you on that bestsellers list. You knew exactly what needed to happen. You snuck up on him and with the first heavy object you found, smashed his head in. You even smashed his watch when you were done. I saw the blood on the adjustment knob on his watch. I can tell you set the time back to 7 o'clock so your alibi would check out. You figured you were covered, but you forgot about one thing. You forgot that Mr. Body had been walking around with one of your recorders. You were right, Anne. His final words are probably on this. Let's see if it's had time to dry out yet. I shake the little recorder a little, then press the play button.
And that's why my fourth quarter earnings were so high for that fiscal year. Now in the next chapter I'd like to talk about... Ah! You're going to make me a fortune. You'll just have to die first.
The recording cuts out after that.
I was right, you know. I have a nose for a story. I know just how to tweak it, but this had to be non-fiction. The publisher said no tweaking it, just get the truth out. So I just had to make what I wrote in the book true. Don't you see? I just had to make the ending true.
Just another sad grab for glory by another flash in the pan.
Wow.
You've done it, Max. You've solved the mystery.
And got points with the girl. I knew she would like that. That was quite an interesting story, though, I must say. I just need some water. All that reading about juice made me thirsty. Ah, much better.
And unfortunately, that's all the time we have. I want to thank you all for coming out for the Alpha Theta Rho Fraternity's murder mystery evening. So relieved I don't have to say that ever again. If you would like, please feel free to join us for a party proper at our house.
Everyone claps loudly for the butler who takes a bow. People start heading out the door. The Latin House roomies gather in the lot.
I can't believe how much fun that was. Did you see me in there?
Definitely. Clearly you need to channel some of that all the time, Anne.
Oh yeah, you were definitely working it.
She wasn't the only one.
Well, hey, if you got it, flaunt it. Though I can't believe they made me the other woman for some skeezy old businessman.
Well, if the shoe fits.
Watch it, jackass!
Everyone laughs as Isabella starts chasing me around, threatening to bite me.
Oh, that was a lot of fun, to pretend to be someone else for an evening. I suppose that is what Halloween is all about, yes?
I suppose that's very true, Rakesh. Nice work.
Well, now that I'm done with pretending to be a sexy office worker, I think it's time to pretend to be a drunken vampire. Who wants to go get some research material?
Here, here.
Are you really just going to pretend to be drunk?
Everyone just stares at Rakesh for a moment before we all head off laughing to the frat house.
Or the madhouse. And... Ooh, new job. Interesting new Halloween event that we had. That was really good. I liked that.